today's flight, I'll be departing out of Okinawa here at Naha International, flying all the way to Taipei, Taiwan. I'll be flying the PMDG 777-300ER for this flight. I'll be cruising at 30,000 feet. Total flight time should take around an hour and a half to complete. Also, I'm using the ROAH audio pack for this plane as well. Again, total flight time is about an hour and a half. Let's hop inside, get pre-flight started, passengers on board, luggage on board, catering service on board, set up our flight plan, and make our way to Taipei. Again, I'll be flying the EVA Air for this flight. Currently parked here at gate 36 Heavy at Naha International. And again, I'll be cruising at 30,000 feet, and the flight should take around an hour and a half. Let's go and turn on the battery. External power is available, so turn that on. Setting APU to start. Secondary external power is available, so click that on. IFE pass seat and cabin utility, both on. Adiru is on. Emergency exit lights set to arm. Left and right window heat, both turned on. Passenger sign set to auto. Strobe lights on. Logo lights on. Now wait for the plane to power on. And again, I'm using the ROAH audio pack for the PMDG 777-300ER with the General Electric engines. Right now it's kind of a light sprinkle here at Naha on the island of Okinawa. And I was waiting for the plane to fully power on. The ROAH audio pack does include some cabin ambiance as well here on Comms 3, the noise cancelling headphone feature, which is a very nice touch. You hear the, the air conditioning and all that, and also then silence as the noise cancelling headphone is turned on. Now we're going to go keep that off as we wait for the plane to power on. Takes a few moments for all systems to kind of power on and boot up. Once these screens display some kind of life, we'll disconnect the ground power unit, because right now the plane is currently being powered by its own APU generator, which you can hear and kind of see in the back. Alright, these screens have turned on and displayed. Plane is fully powered. So we can turn on the tablet over here and disconnect the ground power unit. So ground power is being released. Let's go over down here to FS actions. Go down to fuel. Again, this is an hour and a half flight, so we're going to do a short range. Turn. Payload. Alright, first class, going to have at least 10 people in first class. Business, going to have 35. Economy, 277. payload. Alright, payload 8,678 in the forward hold, 7,391 in aft, and 1,692 in the bulk. The FMC, Open Communications tab. Alright, squawk code is, let's see here, 2076. .2076. TARA selected. Alright, comms 1. Left, center, and right. And cabin utility turned on. And do the same on this side as well. And also I'm using the Boris audio pack, which does include cabin ambiance. I'm using the General Electric package from Boris Audio Works because I'm using the 300ER, which uses General Electric engines. Clear that. Let's go and align the IRS. Once ILS is aligned, we'll go and begin the boarding of passengers, cargo, and catering service. Our reference airport is ROAH, Naha. Let's go and put that in as a reference airport. Here was the R. Oops, give me R's. Clear that. ROAH. We're currently here at gate 36. At that position, I enter it. And we'll wait for the ILS to align. And depending where we are, in accordance with the equator, it should take either a few seconds to have us aligned or a few minutes. While we wait for the ILS to align, let's head to the back. And again, the Boris audio pack does include cabin ambiance, which sometimes you can kind of hear it a little bit, but sometimes not as much. You can kind of barely make out a little bit of talking. I was waiting for the ILS to align. Right here to ground or ground service vehicles. Once the ILS has aligned, we'll connect the jetway and begin all the other services. Waiting for the ILS to align. Alright, time to align in about 40 seconds. Also using a free trial at the moment for the Naha Airport, which is so far pretty good. This is the first time departing out of Naha here on the island of Okinawa, and the first time flying all the way to Taipei. Again, I'll be cruising at 30,000 feet because it's a short flight, about an hour and a half. Alright, aircraft has completely aligned. So let's go and contact ground and get the jetway connected.
Naha AFB ground. EVA Air 2765 Heavy. Could you please get the passengers on board?
EVA Air 2765 Heavy. The jetway is going to be connected.
Alright, wait for the jetway to connect. And we'll go and open up the door. Alright, jetway is connected. Alright, door is open. Let's go and request the aft cargo, galley, bulk, forward galley, potable water. Alright, all services are bringing food onto the plane. Cargo is being loaded. Let's go set up our flight plan. Alright, departing out of Naha, which is ROAH. My destination is Taipei. Which going to Taiwan. I think I'm saying that right. RCTP. I will be departing out of Naha on 36 left. Let me double check. Yep, 36 left. Flight number is EVA Air 2765. EVA Air 2765. I can put that in. Put EVA 2765. Going to activate and execute. Route report. Close that for right now, and open that back up once we're done with our flight plan setup. Let's go to perf init. Cruising at 30,000 feet. Zero fuel weight. Cost index will be be 70. Reserves 6. Departure and arrival. Departing 36 left. The Kisna 2 via Champ. That's activated. Back to index. Approach. ILS 05 right. Transition March. And the star is going to be scrolled back down here to the bottom. Is the DROC 1A. Let's go to the legs page if there are any discontinuities or vectors. Alright, flight plan is all set up. Do the final check. Didn't know I actually could do this. It is a cabin interphone. So I'm not sure what exactly it does. I'd look more into that feature. I knew I can do the cabin interphone. Alright, where were we? Alright, let's get back on track here. Got distracted by that. I never really clicked down there before. Alright, back to init ref. Alright, flaps will be set to 15 for our takeoff. CG entered. Go here to our tablet and put in our takeoff speeds. Performance. Departing out of Naha. Runway 36 left. Runway conditions are wet because it is raining. Laps 15. Be doing a TO1 takeoff. Anti-ice is off. Import weather. Calculate. Alright, 557.5. Thrust limit, TO1, takeoff, hydraulics on. Seatbelt sign set to on. Fuel pumps on. Alright, just about ready to end pushback. Alright, let's go and contact the ground crew. We are done with the boarding.
Naha AFB ground. EVA Air 2765 Heavy. I am done with the boarding.
Let's go and close the door. To ground service vehicles. All services are completed. Let's go and arm all of the doors. Alright, entry to left is closing. Alright, all doors are armed. Wheel chocks removed. Beacon light on. Already begin pushback. A final double check on everything. Alright. Requesting pushback.
EVA Air 2765
Parking brake released.
Requesting pushback.
EVA Air 2765 Heavy. Pushback request accepted.
Also, I have installed the Bravo Aerospace's Air Traffic Global, which adds real-world liveries to the static AI aircraft. Pushback has begun. Alright, parking brake released. Wait for this Japan Airlines flight to clear out of the way. I'm getting pushback. Alright, left engine, start. Wait for that to reach 200. Gonna set left engine to run. Left engine is powering up.
Naha AFB ground. EVA Air 2765 Heavy. Requesting the end of pushback.
EVA Air 2765 Heavy. Request to end pushback received.
Alright, once the pushback tug is cleared, we'll begin starting the right engine.
Naha AFB ground. EVA Air 2765 Heavy with Whiskey. Ready to taxi, IFR.
EVA Air 2765 Heavy. Taxi to and hold short
Parking
of
brake
runway
set.
tree 6 left via taxiway tree 6 Delta 2 Alpha Tree Echo 4 cross runway 18 left Whiskey Tree Charlie Juliet 1 Tango 1 Charlie Tango 9er. Contact
Right
tower
engine,
on 118.1
started.
when ready.
Taxi, hold short runway tree 6 left via taxiway tree 6 Delta 2 Alpha Tree Echo 4 cross runway 18 left Whiskey Tree Charlie Juliet 1 Tango 1 Charlie Tango 9er.
Right
EVA
engine,
Air
set
2765
to run.
Heavy.
For both engines to be fully started. Alright, set auto brake to RTO. Check flight controls. Up, down, left, right, right, left. I dial in 5,000 feet. Alright, reference V2 speed is 158. Both engines fully started. APU off. Taxi lights on. Weather. Altitude constraints on. LNAV, hit flight director, on, LNAV and VNAV engaged. Alright, flaps to 15. Wait for the flaps to be set. Alright, flaps are set, taxi lights on, parking brake released. Let's make our way to 36 left and depart out of Naha and make our way to Taipei.
EVA Air 2765 Heavy. Hold position. Caution other traffic. EVA Air 2765 Heavy. Continue taxi.
Roger. EVA Air 2765
Looks like the rain
Heavy.
is kind of letting up. I'll enter in the V speeds once we're about to take off. Again, this is the first time departing out of Naha here on the island of Okinawa. flying all the way to Taipei, Taiwan.
Skymark 502, hold position. Caution the departing Airbus A320.
Look down for just a second.
Skymark
I look up.
502.
They come right towards me.
Skymark 502, continue taxi.
Roger. Skymark
Close
502.
the taxi ribbons. Throttle power. Alright, flaps are set. Seatbelt signs are set to on. Flight coming in. I have to wait for them to clear, and we got another one coming in. Start slowing down just a little bit. And this is the PMDG's 300ER. Going all the way to the end here. Parking brake set.
AFB Tower. EVA Air 2765 Heavy at runway tree 6
we got
left
two
with
coming in.
departure, IFR to Taipei.
EVA Air 2765. Heavy hold short runway, tree 6 left. Traffic is Boeing 737 on final. Air Peach 622 tree. Contact ground on 121.9er.
Hold short runway tree 6 left. EVA Air 2765 Heavy.
Going to 121.9er. Air Peach 622 tree.
Another plane has already landed.
Skymark 55 tree. Turn next taxiway.
B speeds being entered. Alright, landing lights on. Taxi lights off. That's waiting for clearance.
Skymark 55 tree. Exit runway when able.
The Japan Airlines coming in. See, they're about 2 nautical miles out. So I'm probably gonna have to wait for them to land as well.
Contact ground on 121.9er.
.9er. Skymark 553.
I should be in clearance any moment now.
Japan Air 2081. Exit runway when able.
Oh, just already landed. Alright, once they clear off, I should be departing very soon. Looks like the rain has picked back up again. I can see a little bit of raindrops. I'll set these to low.
Japan Air 2081. Turn next taxiway.
Once Japan Airlines clears off, I should be getting the clearance to take off.
Japan Air 2081. Exit runway when able.
I got 2 more coming in. Again, sorry for the delay here at the runway. Beginning clearance to take off very soon.
Japan Air 2081. Exit runway when able. Japan Air 2081. Contact ground on 121.8.
Once that plane that just landed
for Japan Air
and
2081.
JTA 13 lands, hopefully we'll get the clearance to take off. And it looks like the rain has kind of picked back up again.
New Sky 67. Exit runway when able.
Again, sorry for the delay, just currently sitting here on the apron, waiting for clearance to take off.
New Sky 67, turn next taxiway.
Double check, make sure I didn't miss the cleared for clearance. Nope, just gotta hold short. Still do not have permission to take off just yet. Go make sure the door is closed.
New
Why'd you
Sky
get the
67.
Why'd you get to
Exit
close
runway
that?
when able.
Let's wait for JTA to land.
New Sky 67. Exit runway when able. New Sky 67. Contact ground on
I hope no more
121
flights are coming in. I should be getting clearance. Hopefully.
Going to 121.8. New Sky 67.
Giant Ocean 1 tree, turn next taxiway.
I don't see any other flights coming in. Might have one coming out 30 miles out, but... Oh, another flight coming in. I did not pick the
Giant
best
Ocean
runway.
1 tree, turn next taxiway.
Okay, sorry for the delay, just a lot of flights coming in. Alright, once this
Giant
plane
Ocean 1
lands,
tree. Contact
JTA
ground
1
on
lands,
121.8.
I'm immediately going to get on the runway and take off before another flight comes in.
One 121.8 for Jai Ocean 1 tree.
The plane should have already landed by now. Alright, do I have clearance to take off?
Jai Ocean 1, turn next taxiway.
Over here to performance. Alright, 3006 is the QNH. Alright, parking brake released.
Jai Ocean 1, turn next taxiway.
clear off.
Ocean 1, turn next taxiway.
Flights coming in. And watching behind me as well. Should be turning off the runway very soon.
Ocean 1, turn next taxiway.
Let's say maybe a 10-minute delay on waiting for clearance.
Ocean 1, contact ground on 121.8.
Alright, they're cleared.
EVA Air 2765.
Throttle.
Heavy, altimeter tree 006. Cleared for takeoff runway tree 6 left.
Cleared for takeoff runway tree 6 left. EVA Air 2765 heavy.
Super steady.
121.8. Ocean 1.
Rotate. Buzz rate, gear up.
EVA Air 2765. Heavy contact.
Flaps
Naha
coming up.
AFP Center on 119er decimal tree.
Pilot engaged. Alright, flaps are up.
2765 heavy.
Seatbelt signs kept on.
Naha AFP
Windshield
Center.
wipers off.
EVA Air 2765 heavy is passing 2,400, climbing 5,000.
EVA Air 2765 heavy. Naha AFP Center. Altimeter tree 006.
Or out of Naha, currently flying through
Containing
a
Kisna.
rainstorm.
EVA Air 2765 heavy. Climb and maintain 5600. Expect flight level tree 10.
5600.
Climb and maintain 5600. Expect flight level tree 10. EVA Air 2765 heavy.
EVA Air 2765 heavy. Climb and maintain flight level tree 10.
Climb to 30,000
Climb and
feet.
maintain flight level tree 10.
I saw climb to 31,000.
2765 heavy.
I'm currently flying through a rainstorm right now. Just departed out of Naha. We're sitting at the runway for about 10 minutes waiting for clearance. Taking off and making our way to Taipei. Should be breaking through the cloud barrier very soon. At 10,000 feet, landing lights will be turned off. Again, this is a short flight from Naha to Taipei, about an hour and a half. Again, the view is not that spectacular. We're currently flying through a whole bunch of rain clouds. Back past 10,000 feet. Landing lights set to off. I'm moving through a little bit of the clouds here. About to reach the end of the storm very soon. Back here. A nice view of these big engines. You can see them. They might be. There they are, right there. General Electric engines. They're above the storms. Standard. Go set. As he said down there. Alright, climbing to 31,000 feet. Cruise at 31,000 feet to reach our top of the descent and make our descent into Taipei. And this is a short hour-and-a-half flight. I'll keep an update as we progress to Taipei. And I'm flying the PMDG 7300ER with the Morris audio pack. This departed out of Naha International Airport on the island of Okinawa. Now flying to Taipei, Taiwan. Yeah, there's a rainbow down there. I'll step away for a few moments. And once we're at cruise altitude, I will begin setting up our descent altitude. That's already preset. When we reach our top of the descent, it'll automatically descend to our target altitude. Again, descending down to that altitude I have selected right there, 1600. Go to our tablet, go to landing dispatch, airport code, RCTP, runway 05 right, weather conditions, we're dry, flaps 30, import weather, landing en route, and put RCTP again. Runway 05 right, flaps 30, auto brakes 3, reverse thrust, and calculate. Keep it open. Okay, it's going to line itself back up with that flight path. Flying the PMDG 777-300ER with the Boris audio pack. Just departed out of Naha International Airport, out of the island of Okinawa, flying to Taipei, Taiwan. That's going to set seatbelt signs to auto. Just cleared out of a major thunderstorm on takeoff. Now it's free to move out the cabin.
heavy. Naha AFB Center. Radar contact. Continue Drake. 665 Heavy contact. Naha AFB Center on 123.9er. Good day.
123.9er for EVA Air 2765 Heavy. Naha AFB Center, EVA Air 2765 Heavy. Flight level tree 10.
EVA Air 2765 Heavy. Naha AFB Center. Radar contact. Continue Drake.
traffic.
EVA Air 2765 Heavy. Traffic is 10 o'clock. For miles. At flight level tree 10. Boeing B747. Report them in sight.
I hope you are enjoying the stream. This was a short flight from Okinawa to Taipei. I'll be cruising at 31,000 feet. Altitude descent is already set to 1600. Once top of descent is reached, so it'll automatically begin its automatic descent to 1600. First time flying into Taipei. Again, this is on the Xbox Series X, if anybody's wondering. I'm flying the PMDG's 777-300ER with the Morris audio pack. close. We are descending down to 1600. Look at the vertical speed and altitude speed to about 2200 feet per minute. Up so we don't overspeed. Taipei. And this is the first time flying into Taiwan. I'm descending around 2,200 feet per minute. Should be touching down in the next 20 to 25 minutes. Off in a thunderstorm and land in a thunderstorm. Got a 737, MAX 8 down there. Take a look at our approach procedure. Alright, we're going to skip going to April and go right to March. Grab March, put that where April is.
05. Cleared ILS runway 05 right approach.
Cleared ILS runway 05.
So you want to go to Jammy and then go to Tulip.
2765 Heavy.
I'm below 10,000 feet. Landing lights on. VNAV engaged. Eye on the radar. Tulip to place march. Alright. Right flaps. Flaps 1 set. Visor engaged. Captain is ready for landing. That's a little Taiwan down there. Brakes. The arm. Alright, flaps 5. Windshield wipers on. And it's slowly making its way down to 1600. Watching the airspeed. Alright, flaps 15. The windshield wipers on. Not sure if it's still raining in Taiwan. If any rain. Now, so we'll turn the windshield wipers off. Visor has been grabbed. Approach activated. Alright, flaps 20. 05 right in Taiwan. Flaps 25. You're down.
EVA Air 2765 heavy. Wind
Flaps 30.
105 at tree.
You're
Clear to
down.
land runway 05 right.
Flight slope is
Clear
grabbed.
to land runway 05 right. EVA Air 2765 heavy.
Taipei Tower. Airspeed 626 ready for IFR departure. Runway 05 right.
Airspeed 626, hold short runway 05 right. Traffic is Boeing ATCOM.AC _ model B77W.0.TDS on final.
Hold short runway 05 right. Airspeed 626.
400.
There's the rain.
300.
Windshield wipers on.
200.
Full control.
Sync rate. 20. 10.
And touchdown. First thrust.
Taipei Tower. Dynasty 909er ready for departure. Runway 05 right. IFR to Hong Kong.
Dynasty 909er, hold short runway 05 right. Traffic is Airbus A320 on the runway.
Exiting taxiway.
Hold short runway 05 right. Dynasty 909er.
EVA Air 2765 heavy. Contact ground on 121.6.
That's contact ground.
Airspeed 626. QNH 1015 traffic is Airbus
Backward,
A320 on
brake
final.
set.
Cleared for takeoff runway 05 right.
Contact ground before we continue our taxi.
121.6. EVA Air 2765 heavy.
Cleared for takeoff runway 05 right.
Alright, taxi to gate.
Taipei ground. EVA Air 2765 heavy. Taxi to the gate.
EVA Air 2765 heavy. Taxi to gate Delta 1 via taxiway Sierra 7
landing
Sierra
lights
Quebec
off.
to Quebec.
Taxi lights on.
Taxi to gate Delta 1 using taxiway Sierra 7 Sierra Quebec to Quebec. EVA Air 2765 heavy.
Going taxi to our gate. And again, ladies and gentlemen, as I said before, I'll say it again. Welcome to Taipei. Bring the flaps up. Hope you enjoy the stream and the flight. Bit of a slight rainstorm here in Taiwan. Our turn here. Currently taxiing to our gate Delta 1. Flaps are up. Let's go and get to our gate. Cathay Pacific over there. Right, there's our gate currently being occupied. So we can request a different gate. Go to this gate right here. Alright, parking brake set. Connect the ground power unit. Because right now the jetway we're supposed to be at is going to be occupied. We can't request the services. We are here in Taiwan. Just flew all the way from Okinawa to Taipei. Hope you enjoy the stream and the flight. I will see you next time. Thank you and have a great night.